Welcome to a short series of presentations on the simplicity of our salvation. My name is Camron. God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. He sent Him into this world that we might be saved. However, everything that Jesus has done for us means nothing unless we need it. Jesus said that He comes not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. That it is those that are sick that need a physician. We are all sick. We are all infected by sin, yet we do not know it. Jesus Christ came to save us from something that very few of us are aware of. Many of us as Christians are like sailors on the sea. When times get tough, we cry out to God, but when it is easy going, we forget all about Him. We need to recognize our condition. If we will recognize our condition, then we will always have a sense of need. In Isaiah 64 verse 6, it tells us that all our righteous acts are as filthy rags. That word, righteous acts, means that everything that we can do, because of the sin in our hearts, everything that we touch is polluted with sin. We cannot do the works ourselves. We must have a faith that will bring us another working. That's why in Romans 14 verse 23, it says, that which is not of faith is sin. There is a phrase that's often used, righteousness by faith. Let's think of that word as right doing by faith. Our faith must bring into our lives the doing which is acceptable to the law of God. In Isaiah 54 verse 17, God's promise is that our right doing is of Him. That He will work in us to will and to do of His good pleasure, as it says there in Philippians chapter 2 verse 13. Note verse 12. It says that we are to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. That fear and trembling is that we ourselves will be found doing the works. It is God who is to work in us both to will and to do. If we are performing the own doings in our lives, it is filthy rags. It is sin. We must have faith that will bring us the doing of God into our lives. In Romans 10 verse 3, it talks about the ignorance of God's right doing and how we go about to establish our own right doing, not submitting ourselves to the right doing of God. Because God has promised, and what He promises, He will perform it if we will let Him do it. However, He says in Philippians 4:19 that God will supply all our needs by Jesus Christ. But in John 5 verse 30, it says that Jesus of Himself could do nothing. So we can do nothing and He can do nothing, but through Him comes the right doing of God. Let's have a look in our next time how this works. Thank you.